Welcome back, True Seeker. Yesterday, when we were talking about the death of Franco Harris, it was brought up that Ronnie Hillman, another NFL running back, was in the headlines on his deathbed in a hospital. And it was pointed out that the Broncos' upcoming game on Christmas Day is on Hillman's 103rd day of his age. Well, according to the headlines, he's not going to be here to see it because he died yesterday on the winter solstice, the same day that the news of Franco Harris, his passing, broke. And they said Franco Harris had died the day prior. If you've missed the videos I've done the last 2 days about the death of Gary Knafelc of the Packers, which was announced during the Packers Monday Night Football game, and then Franco Harris just before his jersey was to be retired against the Raiders near the anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. If you've missed those last two videos, this video will echo a lot of the same points. And the video I did put out the day Gary Knafelc died, I reminded that around this time of year, you'll see young and old former players drop dead left and right. And I asked, is the NFL murdering its former players? And a lot of people say, well, he didn't get murdered. He died from cancer. Again, that's if you read the headlines and are just so gullible to believe what you see in the news, which has been lying to you for all of your life. Again, for all of you guys who have not figured that out yet, that the news lies to you every day, you really need to grab a big pair of pliers, put it around your head and pull down because your head's clearly up somebody's ass. The news lies to you every day about everything. And I've been educating about that for a decade straight, helping you guys see through the lies of the news, the rigged sports, the rigged politics. Again, there's nobody in the world that has an argument that can defeat what I'm showing. And that's why whenever I open up the floor for a debate, nobody calls in with any kind of real argument. So anyway, we've been talking about it being the 103rd NFL season. And you guys might recall in the offseason, I put together a video about the teams that had the 103 connections. They were the Packers through Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers, and the Broncos. Those were the three teams with a 103 connection. And in successive days, we're talking about the death of a Packer, a Steeler, and now a Bronco. And let's go over this because I want you to see why Ronnie Hillman died the day the Franco Harris news broke. It's undeniable when you know the code that these psychopaths work by. And again, for all of you who've heard the term the cabal, it comes from Kabbalah. And in Kabbalah, there's something called Gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words. And it's related to sorcery and magic. And there's a song out there called Gematria, the Killing Name. There's another song out there called Murder by Numbers, where killing's the sport of the elite. And it's as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. So let's look at all the parallels with Ronnie Hillman and Franco Harris, who are both NFL running backs. Again, there's only two NFL teams that have a gematria of 103. They're the Steelers and the Broncos. And then again, the reason the Packers have the connection is through Aaron Rodgers, who's the current quarterback, who just got a very symbolic win on Monday Night Football. But anyhow, Broncos, 103. The Broncos play on Christmas, and that would have been Ronnie Hillman's 103rd day of his age if he were alive. Now, notice he's dead at age 31. If you followed my work for any period of time, you know how associated the number 31 is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, gematria is a very simple practice. It's ABC is 1, 2, 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26, just using the alphabetic order, turning letters into numbers. It's also running the alphabetic order in reverse. So Z is 1 back to A is 26. And then also using those two orders with the rules of numerology. Steelers with the alphabetic order is 103. Broncos with the reverse alphabetic order is 103. Again, out of the 32 teams, they're the only two teams with the 103 connection. When you use numerology, Steelers is 31. So on the day you hear the death of Franco Harris of the Steelers, you also hear about how Ronnie Hillman of the Broncos is dying, and then he ends up dying later that day, and he dies at 31. So that's a parallel, but that's not where the parallels end. There are several more parallels here. Ronnie Hillman was born September 14th, would have turned 103 on Christmas Day, the day the Broncos played the defending Super Bowl champions. And notice how Broncos is 86 forwards, 103 in reverse. Jesuits is 103 forwards, 86 in reverse. Again, Vince Lombardi, who took the Packers to Green Bay, was a Jesuit who died in an unexpected way at Jesuit Georgetown. The Steelers are the only publicly owned family, or excuse me, I should say, they're the only team that's owned by a Jesuit family, the Rooney family. And again, just want to emphasize that Broncos and Jesuits thing. The name Rogers is the same thing. Rogers is 103 and 86. State Farm also has the 103, who does the commercials for. As we talked about yesterday, immaculate reception equals 86. Going with Franco Harris, blood sacrifice 86, human sacrifice 86. Notice Ronnie Hillman was the 67th pick of the 2012 draft. Again, very fateful number. Notice how Franco Harris, blood sacrifice, human sacrifice, they all equal 67. When you flip it around, again, human sacrifice and blood sacrifice are 86, like immaculate reception, like Broncos. And not to be outdone, Ronnie Hillman's name equals 144 and 72, like Jesuit order. And we just had Franco Harris die at age 72, who was drafted in 72. Mike Tomlin born in 72. The Immaculate Reception in 72. And notice now here we are synced up with Christmas. Ronnie Hillman, his team's going to play on Christmas, the 359th day of the year, which is the 72nd prime number. And again, that's a big number in astrology. The sun, again, the Catholic Church, who the Jesuits serve, has celebrated the sun's birthday since 274 AD, like how the Jesuit motto, Isus Omnem Salvator, equals 274. But they celebrate the sun's birthday on 12/25, which is the 359th day of the year, which is the 72nd prime number. And again, the sun moves 1 degree on the astrological wheel every 72 years. We're at the time of the birthday of the sun. Ancient pagan cults would sacrifice animals, humans, for Saturnalia. All of these deaths are happening in the time of Saturnalia, which is right just before Christmas, the sun's birthday. And again, winter solstice also has the gematria of 191 and 187, just like Society of Jesus, which is the formal title of the Jesuit order. And just to remind, in recent days, Gary Knafelc, announced dead during the Packers game, longtime Packer who lived in Green Bay. His name, 103. He died during the Monday game on the 103rd day of the NFL season that again began on the Virgin Mary's birthday, September 8th. The Immaculate Conception, the Immaculate Reception. Again, Rogers and State Farm have the 103 like Jesuits. And then you had Franco Harris, who died not on the 103rd day of the season, but 103 days after the season began, the day after Gary Knafelc. Again, you had a popular YouTuber who has 500,000 subscribers recently do a video about how I cherry pick numbers because in my distant date counts, I'll count the span of days or the days after. He made a video targeting me saying that just shows you how bogus gematria is. And it's just like, wow, that's a really dumb argument you're making there. The span of days is a fair count, and the days after is a fair count, which is exactly why every date calculator on the internet is set up to measure either or. Again, these coincidences, as he would like his audience to believe, are not coincidences. These are rituals. Again, look up the song Murder by Numbers by the Police. Look up the song Gematria, the Killing Name by Slipknot. And by the way, for the record, New York Yankees is 191 and 187 in the same ciphers. Big news with Aaron Judge yesterday. Big news for the New York Mets team as well. But also with regards to Hillman, he's born September 14th. He died exactly 14 weeks after his birthday on the winter solstice. Notice how NFL, dead, and end are all 14. Born on the 14th, dead exactly 14 weeks after the birthday. 98 days. Kind of like how the season began on 9/8, the Virgin Mary's birthday. And if you count the full span of days, it becomes 99 days, but 3 months and 8 days. And, as I say that, hold on. Super Bowl history of winners. Hold on. I want to go back and look at the 98-99 Super Bowl. That's not the year the Broncos went back-to-back, is it? Let me go back and check that out. 98, Denver beat Green Bay. And 99, Denver beat Atlanta. And Denver won with 31 points and 34. Ronnie Hillman wore the number 34 and died at age 31. Man, I'm really cherry picking the numbers here, you guys. It's just another coincidence. Yeah, that just dawned in my mind. I was like, wait a minute. I was younger back then. I was like, I think those were the years Broncos won back-to-back. And they sure were, 98 and 99. Scored 31 points and 34 points. Remember who else scored 34 points against the Falcons in the Super Bowl? The 25-point comeback on 2-5. Anyhow, notice that when you count the span of days, it's also 3 months and 8 days. As I've taught you guys a million times, Colorado equals 38. It's the 38th state in order of statehood. A million murder rituals in Colorado with the number 38. Notice how the movie poster for Murder by Numbers, the E's changed to the 3, the B to the 8, 3883. Murder has the gematria of 38 and 83, as does Colorado. Colorado equals 38 and 83. Football equals 83. Peyton Manning, born on the 83rd day of the year, finished his career in Colorado. And then at the beginning or the offseason, if you go back to March 24th of this year, right after the Broncos got Russell Wilson on March 8th, who beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl in the Seahawks' 38th season. But the stadium caught on fire on the 83rd day of the year, on Peyton Manning's birthday of all days. Go back and look at that Bronco fire on March 24, 2022, the 83rd day of the year. But again, Murder by Numbers, the song in 83. Sandra Bullock, the star of Murder by Numbers. The film Murder by Numbers came out on the day Ignatius Loyola became the first superior general of the Jesuits. Also came out 38 weeks after Sandra Bullock's 37th birthday. And again, when you turn 37, that's the day you begin your 38th year of life. And again, for people who have trouble with that, the day you're born, you don't begin your 0th year of life. You begin your first year of life. When you turn 1, you begin your second year of life, and so on. But yeah, man, it's crazy how they do it. 98 days after his birthday, 99th day of his age. And he was a Super Bowl winner himself, which we'll get to. Of course, that was my breakout year because a lot of people caught on the year that I called Broncos over Panthers in October and why Von Miller would be the MVP and there'd be a Black Panther tribute at halftime, all of which happened, which made USA Today write their hit piece on me. But yeah, look at it, you guys. 31-34, the winning scores. He wore number 34, Hillman, died at 31. And adding insult to injury, the season began September 8th. Died December 21st. They said he died from a cancer battle. That's the terminology they're using. Cancer battle, 104. Died 104 days after the season began. Also 41, the big Super Bowl number. Don't forget how I called Super Bowl 50 dead on. It was through understanding Cam Newton being born in the year that Huey P. Newton died. Cam Newton born on the 131st day of the year. Huey P. Newton dead on the day leaving 131 days left in the year. And just for the new person, show you how you need to understand the base ciphers. See how Huey P. Newton's 131 and 41 in reverse? Super Bowl, 131, 41 forwards. Now, the funny thing is when I made that prediction, I didn't even know that. But I knew about Super Bowl equaling 131 and 41. And all that year, ESPN was telling the story on their front page about the 131 children named after Peyton Manning, born in Indiana. And I was like, okay, they're telling you that Peyton in his 18th season is going to ride off into the sunset wearing his 18 jersey. By the way, the Jesuit acronym IHS is 18, like son is 18. But anyway, coming back to Huey P. Newton, I only knew gematria forwards back then. And the Huey P. Newton 58 is what told me that Cam Newton would face Peyton Manning. Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. And that Super Bowl 50 was in San Francisco. That's the 50 city. Super Bowl 50 was in the 50 city. It was the golden anniversary. You see how gold is 38 and the 49ers are named after the gold rush and Panthers equals 38 who went down to Colorado, the 38th state on the 38th day of the year. Just like how they lost, if I can type here, they lost in Super Bowl 38 to the Patriots. Hopefully I didn't do that too fast for you guys. San Francisco used to be 5-0 in Super Bowls once before they lost in the Harbaugh Bowl. And then, by the way, that was Super Bowl 47, and John beat Jim. John equals 47, Jim equals 32. And then they lost in the Joe Montana Bowl, Super Bowl 54, where Joe Montana is 54. But Again, Cam Newton did become the 58th quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. It's why I liked Von Miller to be the MVP, because Peyton Manning couldn't even throw the football that season. Go back and look at his highlight reel. I don't think he had one spiral all year. Every pass was a wounded duck. Super Bowl 50 began with an 18-yard pass to number 81. From 18 to 81, total wounded duck, ugliest pass you ever saw in the Super Bowl. Had no business being out there, but in the scripted NFL, they can do whatever they want. So I said it's going to be a defensive battle, and the only person that makes sense to win the MVP in live it being a defensive battle is Von Miller, the big defensive star who wears number 58, who was drafted one pick after Cam Newton. And again, the Black Panther Party was founded by Huey P. Newton in San Francisco, where that Super Bowl was. So think about how sick it is, you guys. Cam Newton becomes the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. Huey P. Newton died the year Cam Newton was born. Cam Newton had the Black Panther on his helmet, like the Black Panthers founded in San Francisco. Cam Newton born on the 131st day of the year. Huey P. Newton dead on the day leaving 131 days left in the year. And again, Huey P. Newton's name was like Super Bowl. And the reason they can put all this together is because just like Black Lives Matter is controlled by the Jesuits and the Society of Jesus, which I've been teaching you guys about since 2014 when they came on the scene just outside the Jesuit University in Ferguson, so are the Black Panthers. And if you guys doubt that, go research the Black Panthers and you'll find that all of their first meetings were in Catholic churches in San Francisco. I mean, you guys, it's not hard to see who's controlling the whole thing. Christmas, why are we celebrating that? Because the Catholic Church said so. Why are we saying it's the year 2022 and today is December 22nd? Because the Catholic Church said so. Where did this English language come from? A Catholic monk. You know, why is the nation's capital all Roman architecture? How come all those Europeans came across the sea over here and reinvented history? They were fleeing the Catholic Church. You think the Catholic Church was going to let them flee? Think the Catholic Church is going to say, oh, you think you can sail across the ocean and escape me? I'll give you some freedom and some ball games and some hot dogs and some beers. I'll do it all by the numbers too, because we're the cabal. But anyway, wins the Super Bowl, dies in a cancer battle by the numbers. And pays tribute with his death to Super Bowls that were back when, oh my God, what's wrong with me? He was the number one fantasy star back then. Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis was the running back then. John Elway. Don't forget how John Elway was synced up with Super Bowl 52. He got annihilated by the 49ers back in his day. And then he got pay dirt because then he got to win a Super Bowl in their stadium as a GM. But yeah, 3 days in a row, you guys. 3 days in a row. 3 NFL deaths, all with the number 103 all over them. And all in the 103rd NFL season. And that's not where the 6 sports rituals ended yesterday. Did you see what they did in the NBA? Congrats to everybody who hit on the big dog Pacers. Pacers had an awesome riddle to upset Boston yesterday. Awesome riddle as a 10-point dog to upset. That's where you get the big money. And you know who else looked really great as an underdog yesterday? The Raptors. The Bulls also looked pretty good. Again, yesterday was the 21st of the month. Saturn equals 21. We're in Saturnalia. Saturn's the 6th planet. 21's the 6th triangular. Bulls were an underdog yesterday. Got the 6th away win. Gave the Hawks the 6th home loss. Raptors yesterday ended their 6-game losing streak on the 21st. 21's also the 8th Fibonacci number. And notice the Knicks fell to 8-8 at home, ending their 8-game winning streak. And again, gematria, you guys. I haven't even got to the sick ritual. I'm about to show you what it was. Madison Square Garden equals 88. Fell to 8-8. 8-game winning streak ends. Winter solstice equals 88. See how they do it? Know your numbers, you guys. Know your numbers. I've told you guys, 55 in Timberwolves is perfect this year. Stayed perfect yesterday. Jason Kidd stayed on 55 losses with his team that he used to play for. Timberwolves 55, Minneapolis 55, Target Center 55. Every 55, 5-5 riddle that's come up with Minneapolis this year has hit. Still perfect pattern all year. Gave you guys that one for free. And continues to play. But here was the sick thing they did, you guys. Who drafted Kobe Bryant? Who drafted Kobe Bryant? Remember, he has all the parallels to Jordan. Had to go through North Carolina like Jordan. He was drafted with the 13th pick of the draft by the Charlotte Hornets. Got traded to the Lakers for Vlade Divac. Vlade Divac, for all you young people, there was no flopping in the NBA before they brought over Vlade Divac, the European. Before Vlade, only Europeans played soccer. And don't you guys just hate watching soccer players? I mean, in America, we call it soccer. I don't want to insult the soccer players. I played soccer myself growing up, but I didn't play it for high school because the guys who played soccer where I grew up were the guys who weren't good enough to play the other sports. And they were all like, kind of like the fairyish guys, if you follow what I'm saying. And you just watch soccer players. I mean, they're just always down on the ground. It's like, who can stay down on the ground and roll around the longest from the little love tap you just had on the field? It's just like, how does this happen at like the adult level? As kids when we're athletes, we don't want to show that we got hurt. We want to be the toughest guy on the field, but these guys become grown men and they barely get hit and they roll around and play up their injuries. It's just such a joke. So anyway, Vlade Divac, for people who don't know the history, he brought over that European flopper mentality, flop all over the court. And now look at the NBA. It's like everybody's Vlade Divac. Every sport is soft and feminine. It's like, to be in pro sports, you got to be a fairy. But anyway, look at what they did in LA. And this was the easiest call of the night. I mean, Clippers were big favorites, but obviously the Hornets were falling to 8-24 and picking up their 13th road loss. Again, Kobe wore 8-24, was the 13th pick of the draft. LA, again, people don't know, forwards and backwards. LA, 13 forwards, 41 in reverse. Kobe dead at 41, his daughter dead at 13. Kobe Bryant, 41, wrote a book about his career in 41 before he even died at age 41. And in that book, it says right at the beginning, the Jesuits run the whole show. Kobe dies while traveling from Catholic Mass on the 41st day of his Pope's age, or on the 41st day of Pope Francis' age. And if you guys have not read my latest book, Number Games, it's out there. And I show how all of these numbers are huge in Kobe Bryant's death. He also died on his 157th day of being 41 years old in a supposed accident 157. His dad's nickname in the NBA, Jelly Bean. Let me pull up the Kobe Bryant, Kanye West movie poster. What I can't even think what the name of the movie is right now. Oh, yeah, Black Mamba, of course it was. For those of you see how at the top of this, it says you lose this road game, you don't go home. It ends with an exploding helicopter, kind of like the Comedy Central that ends with Kobe crashing in the helicopter. You lose this road game, you don't go home. You lose this road game. Don't forget he crashed next to Kanye and Kim's house, who were still together at the time. You lose this road game, you don't go home. 157. How about it? Dead on his 157th day of his age in the accident. Never mind that the helicopter that they showed crashed didn't look anything like the helicopter that he took off from the John Wayne Airport, 86. 86, right? Blood sacrifice, human sacrifice, immaculate reception, Broncos, same things over and over again. But yeah, I mean, and you guys, when they retired Kobe's jerseys, here, let me see if they've been taking down posts on my blog left and right. You see how the Clippers got to 11-7 at home again? They play in the same building as the Lakers. I just want you to see the 117 when they retired Kobe's jersey. It's on my old blog. Kobe Bryant jersey retirement. Let me see. The retirement of Kobe's number 8-24 Warriors at Lakers. His dad was drafted by the Warriors. Kobe retired 41 years after his dad was drafted. But Kobe Bean Bryant also has the Gematria 117. And from his birthday to the jersey retirement, which was also during Saturnalia, 117 days later. When you spell out 13, it's 117. So look at everything that they did in that, you guys. Look at how scripted your NBA is. And with regards to the Hornets falling to 4-13 away in LA, I mean, look again. LA 13-4, right? Kobe's old team, Charlotte. And who runs Charlotte now? Michael Jordan? I mean, is this a joke? Michael Jordan, 113. Kobe Bryant, 113. The Michael Jordan Trophy, the new 113, 113. Kobe's retirement poem, Dear Basketball, 113. The only true 113 team in the NBA, the Utah Jazz. Out of the 30 teams, 113 is the 30th prime. You could also argue that Dallas has the 113 connection, but in the most pure cipher, full team name, only the Jazz. And that's who Kobe finished his career against. It's who Jordan beat in the finals. But and of course, the National Basketball Association. 113, 113, the 30th prime. But yeah, I mean, just what a sick joke. What a sick joke. Jordan's team becomes 8-24, 4-13 away in LA, going into the building where Kobe's jerseys are hanging up. 11-7 at home, the Clippers become, just like how they retired his jersey 117 days after his birthday. Oh, and they retired it on the day, leaving 13 days left in the year. And then Cypress Hill down in LA will remind you that the price of fame is high. We need Be Real to call into a stream sometime. Be Real, are you out there watching? Imagine if all the rappers started sharing Gematria at the same time. But yeah, you guys, I mean, this is the knowledge to take advantage of the rigging, to see through the redundant patterns, you know, to free yourself from the matrix of the rigged ball game. By the way, anytime you see a team can become 22-11 in sports, it happens like almost every single time. So just a little nugget to know. Just pay attention. Anytime a game's coming in and a team can become 22-11, you'll rarely see it go anyway but 22-11, the master numbers. It's all about numerology with the rig leagues. So, anyhow, let me check in with the chat real quick. And see if you guys got any other observations for the death of Ronnie Hillman. Am I missing anything with Ronnie Hillman, or did I cover it all? If you guys got here late, I started with all the parallels between Ronnie Hillman and Franco Harris. By the way, if you missed yesterday's stream on Franco, people called into my later stream. Franco Harris has a record of 354 rushing yards in Super Bowls. He died on the 354th day of the year. You know, and again, I mean, the day before he died, I was talking in a stream about how often we see these celebrities and entertainers die close to the anniversaries of what they're remembered for, die by the numbers of what they're connected to, like his immaculate reception in 72, dead at age 72 now, right before the jersey retirement against the team that he had the immaculate reception against on the 50-year anniversary. And again, for all you guys who are like, still like, I'm not sure about forwards and backwards. We talked about Hillman dying at 31. But notice Steelers is a 50 in reverse as he dies on the 50-year anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. Pittsburgh's also 50. It's 58 in reverse. Franco Harris's death comes on the anniversary of the death announcement of Franco Harris comes on the anniversary of the death of Kevin Green at age 58, which was right before a Steelers primetime game. We covered that the other year. And again, Jesuits, you know, we talked about the 103, the 86, 50-year anniversary. Jesuits also 22. What year are we in right now? 2022. Pretty significant football number. 22 men on the field, 11 on 11. Yeah, John Madden, exactly. He died right before right around the time his special came out. Yeah, we've seen these things a million times. Yeah, for people who weren't here for the Kevin Green thing, I can pull that up real quick. Kevin Green. Also, right before Monday Night Football, in the time of Saturnalia, dead at 58. And again, Freemasonry, secret society. It's a big, with regards to all this stuff being astrological, Zodiac is 58. Calendar's 58. We're on the Gregorian calendar. Gregorian's 58. The word star itself is 58. Zodiac stars. Even the plural stars, when you run it in reverse, is 58. Kevin Green, a big NFL star. Dead at 58 right before prime time. Kevin Green also has the gematria of 56, like Society of Jesus. Can go with those Jesuit Steelers. And I remember Rambo was talking about this game all season before it happened and how the Bengals would win this game. Yeah, the Steelers fell to 10-3 and then 11 trying to remember how that happened. Oh, the Bills became 10-3 versus the Steelers the week before, and then the Steelers fell to 11-3. That's what it was. So, talking about the same numbers when Kevin Green died. Kevin Green, born on the 31st of July, which is the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola died. Significant Jesuit day. That's the day they have the feast for Ignatius of Loyola. Kevin Green died on the 144th day of his age. Jesuit order 144. We just talked about how they just tied that in with Ronnie Hillman. Again, just how redundant the patterns are. You know, so many huge Jesuit rituals with 144. So many. Kevin Green dead on his 144th day of his age. On the day they announced the death of Franco Harris at 72. 144 is a number that relates to time. All of these are rituals in time. And I mean, not only that, but he literally died on the anniversary of Kevin Green. Ronnie Hillman died on the anniversary of Kevin Green. Same thing. 144 as a square root of 12. Here we are in the 12th month. I was making the point right there about Gregorian. I'm always making the same points. I mean, made a million posts, a million books about the same thing. So. And just with regards to 44 points being scored in that game, you guys, again, that's another big pattern. When you write out 44, it's 144 and 54 like Jesuit order. And in this case, we have a death from cancer. Ronnie Hillman supposedly dead from cancer, which is 44. And notice when you write out April 4th, it's also 144. Big assassination of MLK and the huge Jesuit ritual on April 4th in history. Again, the Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on the 95th day of 1968 in the leap year. And Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses, leading the Protestant Reformation against the Catholic Church. So... all right, guys, we'll leave it there. Again, it's another busy day of work. Just for the update on Sweet Lady's mom, she's alive. She's in a hospital. She's probably going to be in the hospital through Christmas, unfortunately. And yeah, it's just too bad that it had to happen at this time of all times. But again, Sweet Lady's mom is pretty old. She's probably around 80 years old. And yeah, hopefully she has a nice recovery. So they said some of her speeches come back today. So anyhow, life is a funny thing. So we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Thanks everyone who hit the like and the share. And actually, hold on. Before I get off, just in case I miss like some good comment, if anybody has anything to add to this deco, so many guys will come on the stream to talk about something entirely different than what I'm talking about. But if anybody's out there that has something to add to Ronnie Hillman, Franco Harris, Knafelc, I just put the link in the chat. You guys are welcome to join the stream. Stand by here for a minute, just in case there is somebody out there. Yesterday, we had some great contributors come on who definitely added some more relevant information. So give a couple minutes just in case anybody wants to click the link, come in and share more information. But that's everything I see for now. And like I always say, though, there is always more. I mean, you start looking more and more, you will find more. Ronnie Hillman, something I didn't even put in the post, but I just saw and just left it out. Ronnie Hillman played at San Diego State. San Diego State happens to have the same gematria as Franco Harris as well. They're the Aztecs. I don't remember learning about the Aztecs sacrificing people when I was growing up. I would go back and look at that. They did teach us that the Mayans sacrificed people growing up. There's a similarity there. I don't know if they still teach the youngsters that in school about how these ancient civilizations would have these great human sacrifices and these festivals for the kings, but we see the same type of stuff now goes on for people like the Pope. And shout out to the Duff Man. Duff Man chipped in 5 Canadian. I do see that. Sorry, I almost missed that. Appreciate that, Duff Man. So. Yeah, I did see somebody sent me that clip yesterday that Franco Harris was out in Pittsburgh telling everybody to get vaccinated. I need to figure out what date he said that. Actually, I'll look that up. Here, we had a couple people join the stream. Open up while you got the floor and sharing your information. I'm going to look up what day Franco Harris told everybody to get vaccinated. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll just going off what you just said about the Aztecs, and I did a quick Google search, and you can look it up yourself right now. Did the Aztecs sacrifice people? And it says many scholars now believe Aztec human sacrifice, especially during troubled times like pandemic or other crisis, was performed in honor of the gods. And what else do they have here? Most scholars of pre-Columbian civilization see human sacrifice among the Aztecs as part of the long cultural tradition of human sacrifice in Mesoamerica. So there you have it. You said
So
you
it
went
does
to...
fit in.
Yep.
And while you're looking that up, here's another parallel, you guys. Look at what day the headlines broke for Franco Harris telling people to get vaccinated. April 14th, 14/4. Huge Jesuit rituals every year on that day, from Titanic to Lincoln to this year Elon Musk offering to buy Twitter for $54 a share when Jesuit order is 54 and 144. So Franco Harris told people on April 14th, 2021 to go out and get vaccinated.
Yep. And then I already mentioned it yesterday, and I put it in the chat a couple times. I don't know if he died while he was in hospice, but dies in hospice with the double 72.
Oh, yeah, you did. You had that exactly. It fit right in with everything.
But yeah, that's all I have. Thanks, Zach.
Appreciate it. Yeah, great research. Thank you.
Yep.
Man, look at that, you guys. From the day, oh my God, man. From the day that he said to get vaccinated to the day he died, 88 weeks. And it's funny, I talked about this yesterday, didn't I? About how poison's 88 and arsenic poisoning is 88. And I also made this point in my book, if you've read it. Decade of vaccines is 88, which Bill Gates declared exactly a decade before COVID landed in his backyard. He said in 10 years, let's have a push to vaccinate the whole world. And then it just happens to land 10 years later in his backyard in the land of the Space Needle, the world's biggest needle. Man, winter solstice 88. With regards to astrology, you guys, Zodiac 88. You guys know? Are you guys familiar? Zodiac 88. Whoops, I don't want the 1988. There's 88 constellations in astrology. 88 constellations. Again, you guys, numerology, astrology, gematria, that's what they're doing. And with regards to all the 144 stuff, yesterday was the transition from Sagittarius to Capricorn. Here, let's bring on Jerry Cruz. What's up, Jerry Cruz?
Yeah, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, bro, what's crazy, bro? What's even fucking crazier is goddamn, like 2 days before Franco had died, bro, they had posted about the throwback jerseys. I don't know if you seen it or not on Instagram. And in the corner, they was like, so and so, they first time they haven't worn them jerseys since '72, and it had been 50 years. Franco was born in 50. Keep in mind, this was 2 days before he died. And on the video montage, I know they was planning on retiring his jersey, but this post was not about that. They had but all they showed first clip, they zooming into Franco in the black and white clip. They zooming into him, and then they just show a couple more bullshit, shit, and then like literally 6 times they just like flash, like go back, like keep flashing back to Franco, keep flashing back to his jersey. That post didn't have shit to do with him. And what's crazy is in that thing, back in block was, I guess because that's their block numbers or whatever, back in block was the thing. That phrase equals 72. I don't know if you covered that, but that phrase equals 72. That was the big old headline or on that post or whatever. And
What's
I don't
the
know if
phrase
you
again? Say the phrase again. What is it?
back and block. BACKINBLOCK. Anybody on
Back and
Instagram might have
block.
seen it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you covered Najee Harris or not.
His name equals 72.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And he was also born 2 days after 2 days after Franco. And in that clip, they were showing number 39, Minka Fitzpatrick. You know, Najee Harris was born on 3-9. So that could be something there. And the Steelers have been doing a couple things with 39 this season that I've seen with, just a couple of those numbers early in the weeks. I seen them that play out. But yeah, that shit was just kind of weird to me, bro.
That's how they do it, man. Yeah. That's the predictive programming for their sick little plan and ritual.
Yeah, bro. And it's so fucking crazy, like how you go in the comments and it's like motherfuckers just so sad, so like, oh my God, this could never happen. This could never happen. Like how? Oh my God, like fucking dumb asses. Like I don't see how anybody doesn't catch the fuck on or at least question it once. And then the bullshit like Roger Goodell's statement with the condolences and Art Rooney. Just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people just can't see through the obvious ritual and propaganda. That's been my frustration since I was a kid, man, because sports have been bullshit since I was a kid. They're just becoming more and more obvious. And it's just like when 9/11 happened, I couldn't believe that anybody couldn't see through 9/11. It was the most obvious lie. By the way, Najee Harris, you guys, has 31 games under his belt at the time this happens.
Yep, it's 36. Yep. I
And that's
forgot
the big
about that.
Steelers number. And we've been talking about Najee Harris and Franco Harris and the rituals they do with him in games for seasons now. I mean, this has been going on. So, and you know where did Najee play at? He played at Alabama. That's the other 31 school. So Alabama's 31 land and Steelers is 31 land. And that's what I'm talking about with Manchurian candidates, like a quarter or a running back playing for the same team with the same last name. And again, just how perfectly scripted it all is. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be looking for probably like a Najee Harris, probably game sealing or game winning TD potentially, probably somewhere in there. But yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit. Like you said, I mean, I've been seeing, I like even I swear to God, as a kid, like the shit that you said just never made sense to me. It's like, why the fuck would you call that play? Why would you do that? You're in the fucking NFL. That shit doesn't happen. You don't fuck up that bad. They don't let you. You wouldn't do that. Like. And even in a high school team, you wouldn't kick the fuck off for doing the stupid shit that you see every single fucking game. It's
Exactly.
retarded.
Exactly. I mean, there was just a college. I can't remember which college game it was recently, but it was like literally like 4th and 2 inches. It was about as close as you can be to the first down. And then their offensive line was just dominating. They were running the ball so easily. And then they go into shotgun. I mean, shotgun on 4th and 2 inches. All you had to do was sneak. Your center was destroying the other offensive line. It's like an automatic first down. And then, of course, they get stopped. And it's just like, and then I made a point about whatever game that was. I was like, look, this guy gets paid $9 million by the university to coach football. And seriously, shotgun on 4th and 2 inches as you blow the game. I mean, you got to be a moron to not see this.
Yeah, you got to be fucking stupid, just like the Raiders Patriots game. Bill Belichick, so-called the fucking greatest coach in history. Why the fuck would he not take a knee? And if you say, oh, he was trying to win the game, trying to put the game away. Okay, then why the fuck would he call a run play? Why the fuck would you call a run play?
As his team continues to like have the other thing that's funny about Bill Belichick, if you pay attention to his whole career, he's always on the sideline by himself, not interacting with anyone. It's like that's the greatest coach of all time, just over there, always isolated in his hoodie with his arms crossed. I mean, that guy, anytime the camera goes to him, he's not talking to anybody. He's just over there standing by himself.
Yeah, literally. Just, I mean, it's so the whole thing is just like you said, circus and bread, just bunch of bullshit. And I mean, these people that go out in 10-degree weather and paint their shirts or paint their chests, all of this fucking stupid ass shit, bro. It's idiotic. I really don't see how people can't catch on to it.
I can't figure it out either, man. And then they come to my video with this undeniable shit, and they're like, "This is the dumbest thing I ever saw." And it's just like, God, you can't make sense of these people,
bro. I showed my friend, and I told him, I was like, "Yeah, stop supporting these leagues. Like, it's deeper than just because when you say rigged, people just think, oh, refs, bullshit, rigged." But it's more than just rigged. It's scripted by fucking evil psychopaths, like you fucking said. And I tried to tell my friends that, and they're just like, oh, just let them enjoy the sport. You can enjoy the sport in your fucking backyard or in a fucking men's league at your local city. You do not have to watch these fucking psychopaths play out this big ass show for the fucking media. Like, it's stupid.
Exactly. I've been saying the same thing forever. All right. Well, I really appreciate the call, man. Great information.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Okay, I'm gonna let somebody cut in line just because they're working. I'm gonna get everybody who's on, but I'm gonna let this guy cut in line just because he's been working extra hard on his own site and he's not getting the recognition he deserves. What's up, Matthew Collin?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you said 88 days after Franco Harris told everybody to get vaccinated, he died?
Weeks. Exactly 88
88 weeks? All right. Well, he played college ball at Penn State. Penn State Nittany Lions equals 88.
Yeah, and that's another thing we see so often. It will factor in with the college team. Yeah, there it is, Penn State Nittany Lions. God, you know, I think. Hold on, I think Mike Tomlin. Hold up. Let me go to Mike Tomlin's thing. Mike Tomlin was born in 72. Yeah, so the Franco Harris died on Tomlin's 281st day of his age, and the news broke 281 days after Tomlin's birthday. Notice Penn State Nittany Lions is also 281. Interesting. He went to William and Mary. How about that? And then he Mary, immaculate. I mean, this stuff, man. So, Tomlin's born on 15. Tomlin's born on the
Hey, Zach.
Again, for people who missed it, Franco Harris's full name equals 160. Tomlin's on 160 wins in the regular season at the time of the death, 93 losses, the big Saturn number in the time of Saturnalia. All right, but go ahead. What's up?
Oh, okay. I heard you say, like, we already know, what is it? Steelers equals 113. And the Vikings are currently 11-3, right. And in Super Bowl IX, the Steelers beat the Vikings. And who was the Ronnie Hillman? It says he played for the Vikings as well. And I don't know, just along with the Kirk Cousins thing, I don't really follow sports. I just try to find the scripts, but I don't know. What do you think about the Vikings this year?
Well, again, the Vikings did just become 5-7 all-time in history on December 17th, exactly 57 days before Super Bowl 57. And the Vikings and the Bills both came into that day 10-3 in the 103rd NFL season. They both had big rituals that day. And again, those games were 57 days before Super Bowl 57. They've arguably had the most interesting game of the year. You got the two players that were on the Minneapolis Miracle now on the Bills, and both teams are 0-4 in Super Bowls. So again, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they put those teams together in the Super Bowl. Just like I was saying yesterday, I wouldn't be shocked if they put the Andy Reid Bowl together, the Eagles and the Chiefs. At this point, I'm trying to narrow down which of those type of stories I like more, but there's a narrative for both. So,
hey, the way they script it, on purpose, where you could pick 4 or 5 teams, and it's they kind of set you up. You know what I mean? They give you just plenty of options, and it's kind of a little bit difficult to figure out.
That's just like knowing where it's hot on the roulette wheel, and you just make sure you bet in a way that you continue to win. It's like people will criticize. Some years I'll just have only 2 teams to face each other, and I'll be dead on about the championship. And some years I'll be like, you know what? You probably want to take all 4 of these teams, because if any of the 4 hit, you're going to come out well ahead. It's just like a World Series this year. We only had 2 teams for the National League to be in the World Series. It was either the Dodgers or the Phillies. And I'm glad it was the Phillies, because the Phillies played a lot more than the Dodgers did. So, Dodgers paid 4-1. Phillies paid 20-1 to do what they did. So, I mean, we got the better side of that. But then you see the critics are like, oh, Zach also had the Dodgers. It's like, yeah, so what? So we still made a ton of money. So,
hey, Zach. Not yesterday, but the day before, I heard the stream where you brought up Bart Starr. I don't know if one of his teammates died or whatever, but I ended up doing a Bart Starr decode right after that, and there was a lot of sick rituals with that. Bart Starr's wife, Cherry Starr, and their son, Brett Starr. It was just strange because like Brett Starr sounds like Brett Favre.
Sure. Yeah.
And there was so many like 72 and 172s in there, which reminded me of the Franco Harris death, because I believe I saw like a lot of the 72s in there too as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that Bart Starr, if you do the decode, I'm sure you have in the past, it's just disgusting. I mean, everything's just synced up with the wife and the son and just everything about it. The first Super Bowl, it's just too much. But anyways,
that's how they do it, man. That's why we start looking at the stuff more and more. It's like it looks like everybody's in an arranged marriage. You know, looks like the day these guys signed on the line, their whole life was planned for them. So,
right? Yeah. Hey, and I don't know how you do it, man. Like sometimes I get overwhelmed with the decodes. Like it's kind of like a hobby and work mixed at the same time. But I tell myself like, hey, I'm gonna take a break, and it's like I'm addicted to it. You know, it's just the best hobby anyone could have introduced to me, because it expands my mind and you know, just the knowledge of my history and everything. And I get people in my comments wanting to try to expose you and tell me you're an agent and this or that. And I'm like, whatever. I'm not about the drama, man. Like I appreciate the knowledge that you've taught me, and I'm not into any of that bullshit. Whether it's true or not, you know, I don't have no allegiance to anybody, but like I said, I appreciate you introducing this to me. So
sure. And for real to know the history,
I'll go ahead and get off for now. I just wanted to.
Yeah. Again, since the day I started making
like
videos,
10 years, right?
Again, when my channel was as small as yours is, I've had people harassing and making up rumors and lies about me. And again, it's obvious to see why. I mean, if you can, Matt, again, the only people who would even think that I'm a fraud or an agent are people who have no discernment, low intelligence. I just got to be honest. I've been here every single day for 10 years, exposing nothing but truth and awesome knowledge and helping people put wealth in their pockets and break away from this matrix. To think that I'd be some kind of agent, you'd have to be an absolute retard. Period. End of discussion. Because what kind of agent would essentially expose the whole thing for what it is and give people the most powerful knowledge arguably ever shown to man, like I have? Again, I don't know anybody else who's ever come on the scene. Not Alex Jones, definitely not. Not Bill Cooper, not Jordan Maxwell. None of these people's teachings are anywhere near as important as what I have exposed about what's going on in the world. This stuff adds up every day. It pretty much solves every ritualistic murder, exposes every rigged sports game, every rigged election. If you think I'm some kind of agent, again, you got to be a moron. But I do understand why the trolls are always there spamming bullshit like they do every day just lying and spamming away for a decade straight. And you guys have to think about that too. The fact that I have a paid-for pack of agents that harass 24/7, 365, as they've been doing every day since about 2015. Think about that. That's like a major intelligence network working against me every day, which is why I ask you guys to support the work, because I'm up against censorship, suppression, paid-for trolls and agents that never stop hounding. And they're the same ones that are in everybody's comments, always trying to. I mean, look at it, you're making a video and somebody's leaving a comment not about your video, but Zach's an agent. Again, it's, again, you know, for everybody in this community that's doing this work, at the center of the community is the person who taught everybody how to do it. That's why it's the same thing in everybody's comment section. It's not even about the video. It's about how Zach's an agent, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, can you come up with a logical argument how I could possibly be an agent?
Hey, why would anybody choose you to attack and you're exposing the knowledge over all of these evil people in the world?
Because I'm exposing what's not supposed to be exposed. That's the agent.
Right.
You can't destroy the message, try and destroy the messenger. So they work real hard to try and discredit me with all their lies, which does work, because look at all the people that used to be part of this community that did videos like you, and now they've left because they're like, oh, I don't like Zach anymore. He's an agent. And they got persuaded by some troll. So anyway.
Yeah. Hey,
I appreciate it, man. Keep up the good work.
Hey, thank you, Zach. Until next time.
Yeah, take care. Okay. Yeah, he is doing good work. But again, even just like, he's like, I don't know if you're an agent. Even that annoys me. If you don't know that I'm an agent, then you got to work on the IQ. The only people who think I'm an agent are really dumb people. And then the trolls who do it, they don't even think I'm an agent. They're just doing their job. They're just doing what they're paid to do every day, harass the community and the work. And for all you guys who don't know that, those are facts. There is a paid-for group of disinformation agents that have harassed me every day since 2015. You know? That's why a lot of people can't make it online, because they can't deal with all the harassment. Anyhow, what's up, Truth Does Not Exist?
Oh, hey, Zach. Sorry to hear about Sweet Lady. Yesterday I was calling you. I had no idea that happened. I hadn't checked my computer. But I wanted to say, yeah, I was having a problem. After all that stuff, it turned out that when I saved the website, all the images were broken.
You already told me this offline. Why do you need to come on a live stream and tell me what you told me yesterday?
So if you're still logged into, if you can still log in to Blogger, then there's actually a way that you can back it up.
No, it doesn't work. It's too big. Again, I already told you this. I don't know what. Listen, man, we talked about this private. You do this a lot. We have a private conversation, and then you want to come on the live stream and have the same conversation that we already had. I don't know why you keep doing this, but I do appreciate they're trying to help out. But like I said, I already hired a professional company to try to do it, and even they couldn't figure it out because it was too big. So anyway, I've already told you that. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. He wants to help out, but I don't get that. It's like he wants to come on and like get the public notoriety. And I've already said, man, don't even waste your time with it because it can't be done. The thing's too big. It sucks that my old site's getting censored, but there's pretty much nothing that can be done about it. Unfortunately, the thing is too big. So if you guys don't know, my old website, freetofindtruth.blogspot.com, they're taking down like 100 posts per day. That for whatever reason, they're finding reasons to censor the old posts. Again, when I started on the website, it was not owned by Google. Google now owns it. And nonstop deletions now. So, all right. Anyway, got to get back to work, you guys. Yeah, that thing about Franco Harris, though, coming out on 14/4 and then being dead exactly 88 weeks later. Again, the same Jesuits are the same ones who simulated the pandemic. Bill Gates, the face of it, you know. He was married to, and if you guys haven't read my book, before they got divorced, I said it looked like they were an arranged marriage synced up with the pandemic. Think that was right on. But again, he married Melinda Gates from the family of Jesuit priests. It's so easy to see who runs the whole show, man. Again, you look into the Jesuits, they control the entire world of the medical industry, news media, government, military, your sports leagues. Again, when you hear about that Illuminati thing, the thing controlling the world, again, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuits. So, Adam Weishaupt. All right, guys, we will leave it there. And thank you to everyone who hit the like and the share. And until next time.